Welcome everybody. In this video, we're going to take a look of adding brand new domain to our Microsoft 365 tenant. So if you go to portal.office.com, you'll see that my current tenant is actually doesn't have a custom domain on it, and it just has the default. In fact, if you look at this username, you can see it's on the Microsoft.com, and we don't want that. So we wanted to the the tenant to have a custom domain where it's easier for our users to log in. So to do this, you have a couple ways. To go to admin in your Microsoft 365, you can either follow the guided setup or click on the setup over here, and then from here on, you can click on get your custom domain setup. That's what we're going to be doing, and we're gonna hit get started. Here's my gear where I'm gonna go ahead and add a brand new domain. Before we do this, I just purchased this domain, iteachskill.org, from Microsoft Azure, and I'm going to add it. So I'm going to hit add a domain. The name is going to be iteachskills. Okay, that's the name of the domain. And we're going to do a text record verification. You can do other method if you want, but this is the easiest in my experience. So we're going to copy the records, the text name, and we're going to copy and paste basically. So we're going to come over here from this Azure portal. We're going to be doing this by going to manage DNS. In another setup, like another services, let's just bring up GoDaddy while we're here. So you don't have to necessarily have to have Azure to do this. So you can come over here in GoDaddy. You can do the same thing. You can come over here, manage DNS, and then you can add the record that way. Like type in the record, or the record type is text, and then paste in that, and then whatnot. But we're not doing this through GoDaddy, we're doing this through Azure. So the first thing we're going to add is add a record. The record type is going to be text, and then we're going to put the name. The name is going to be at. We always need to come back here to see what we're doing here. So the name's at, and then value is that. So we're going to make the value, which is all important, and then it's set to TTL for 3600, which equals 1 hour. So we're gonna hit OK for this one. So our record is created. If we come in the back, we can see here 3600 equals 1 hour. Our TTL, our name is that, and the type is text record. Now what we need to do is verify that we own this domain. And now it knows that we own this domain. We just bought it, and we have an option here. If we do here, add your own DNS record, we're going to do that. So in other service like provider, it will actually try to do this automatically, but for us we have to do this manually. And I'll fast forward the video while we're doing this. So we're gonna hit continue. The first record we're going to be adding is gonna be our MX record. The main thing we need to remember is the type, and then we copy that. So let's copy this, come back here, add a record, and then the type is going to be MX record, which is for our exchange and whatnot. Type and paste that, and then it's going to be 0. So Microsoft is a little bit different. In other providers, DNS providers like GoDaddy, don't have this. So in the preference, you put 0, and then you put in your record over here, and then you're good. So we're gonna hit OK, and then we're gonna add a record again. Okay, so we're back. So we added all the possible DNS. You can see it's a number of the list. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to verify it by hitting continue. We also added the Skype and Intune, so we did the record for both of them. So I feel like we shouldn't have any issues now. Let me double check the SRV for this because I'm just want to make sure that we don't have any hiccups. So this record, we have SRV. Yeah, we do have the SRV record, so it's a great. So now we're gonna hit continue, and it doesn't like one thing. So everything is good except it could not do SRV for this. It just didn't match it or missing record. So let's double check and see why the SRV is not right for this one. And I suspected this to be an issue. So we're gonna come over here, copy this again. We're gonna come over here to the SRV1. So protocol, it doesn't have a protocol. Huh. How do you do the SRV for this? That's a question. Because the time is right, SRV type is SRV, but we need to add more. Like we need to add the the protocol, TLS, name, at, so that we need to do a lot more than that what Microsoft is showing us there. So it's good. So we have to uncheck Skype for business. We have to come back for later for that because I'm gonna have to look into more as far as why it's not doing it. So yeah, but that's all we have it. We complete our domain setup. Now we can make iTeachSkill as our primary domain. It's awesome. Was it easy to add your domain? Yes, it was, Microsoft. It was very easy. Thank you. So now this should go from incomplete to finished. We're gonna probably have to refresh it. Let's refresh. See, it's completed. Our DNS record is there. Obviously, we didn't add SRV record. We didn't add Skype. But other than that, we added for all of them, and it's great. So that's how we can add our domain, our default, our primary domain. You can see it's healthy. Now, what I can do is I can come over here, user, active user, create a brand new user, and then I can call this user, and now you can see the domain we have. We have our iteachskill.org domain as our primary domain by default. We don't have to use that on Microsoft anymore. And then I'm gonna just create a password automatically, and I will also assign the user a product license. So yeah, that user is done, and I'm gonna change the password right away. So now if we go to cloud admin, we'll reset the password, reset. Actually, let's come back here. I don't want to auto generate a password. I want to set it to where we're not gonna create it automatically, and we're gonna choose our password as our password. We're not gonna save it. Okay, now what we'll do is we're gonna go copy the UPN, or actually, yeah, we're gonna copy the UPN, and we're gonna log in a private window. Go to portal.office.com. We'll with our in private window, paste the user we just created, and then put in the password. Of course, it wants us to do MFA. I'm gonna skip for now, and definitely do this whenever I'm using this for production. But for now, to just show you quickly what we got, okay, we will say skip, please. No. All right, that's it. So that's how we were able to log in with our brand new user, and every time I open service, MFA is enforced, which is a good thing because there are people that that always try to get into accounts. So having MFA never hurts anything. So, and I will set up this one once I'm done with my configuration and whatnot. So here's my user new with a new domain. So that's how you can go ahead and add a brand new primary domain into your Office 365 tenant. So that's how you can go ahead and add a brand new domain that's how you can go ahead. So that's how you can go ahead and add a brand new domain to your Office 365 tenant. Once you add it, you verify it with your DNS provider. In this case, mine happened to be Microsoft Azure, but you could use GoDaddy, Cloudflare, and whatever that basically you want, whatever services provider you want. And from that point on, you make sure you add your DNS record, and then you are good to go. And in some cases, it may ask you to change your name server. And so in this case, we didn't have to change it. If that happens, then just know that you're gonna have to do that, and then you go from there. So, but yeah, this is all we did, and it's working fine, and we're able to do what we need to do. Thank you for watching. Please help us, get to our goal by subscribing and liking the video. That will help so much. Thank you. Bye bye.